Hello, hello. Welcome to another developer stream here, World of Tanks, Modern Armor. I'm Tankz0rz, and with me I have Mr. Bam1500. How you doing, Bam?
Hello, wonderful. Happy St. Patty's Day.
Happy St. Patty's Day.
Tankz0rz, there's a lack of green you're wearing right now.
I mean, we have green in the background somewhere
In the
here.
background. Is it a problem because of the green screen? You'd be just a floating bobblehead otherwise.
Let's take a look here. Oh, there's my green. Found my green, guys.
There we go. There's some green on the stream.
I was going to say, I don't think I own any green shirts, and I thought about it, but I think the green shirt you own right there, the one you're wearing, I think is the only one that I actually own too. Yep.
So funny enough, this morning, or rather this came to conversation from after last week's stream when we started talking about some of our upcoming St. Patrick's Day content. I was wearing, coincidentally, a green shirt that was also World of Tanks related. After the stream, I went to my closet. I'm like, wow, I really don't have green shirts. This one, in fact, is the greenest of green shirts I own and is also at least on brand with World of Tanks. So it kind of works out.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, happy St. Patty's Day to everyone here watching today, but we're here to talk about tanks, Mr. Bam, so why don't we go ahead and kick it off?
Let's kick it off. And in celebration of St. Patrick's Day, we have lucky key cards. They are coming back, and I know these are a bit of a fan favorite. A bit of a fan favorite. These do include some 2D commanders, some gold, of course, and if you are super lucky, even a chance to get a commander and a tank together from the lucky key cards. We do have some of our lucky commanders. They will soon be retired. So if this is something you missed out on or are hoping to get your hands on a lucky commander yourself, please head on over to the store. You can pick them up in one mega bundle, currently 50% off. So check that out in stores today.
Awesome, awesome.
Then we have the Luck of the Irish Challenge, where if you win 10 battles, you can get a random drop ranging from anything rewards such as silver boosters, XP boosters, and lucky inscriptions and emblem cosmetics. Still on the subject matter of lucky and St. Patrick's Day, gold to silver conversions. We will be having this at a conversion rate of 1 to 600 instead of the typical 1 in 400. So if you're looking for a little bit more silver, now is the time to do some gold conversion. Also, there are various booster bundles that we have in store as well, including the Banshee Comet, an old tank that we've had for a while, but that is also in store right now. You can see it even behind me. Interestingly enough, the Banshee Comet is it is technically a United Kingdom nation tank, but it is factually in the Irish military purchased the tank from the UK some years back, and we gave it the name Banshee based on Irish folklore. And I guess on the subject of the Banshee Comet, and in lieu of the celebration of St. Patty's Day, how about we do a giveaway? One lucky winner for their chance to get their hands on the Tier 7 Medium Banshee Comet.
Absolutely. Sounds great. Go ahead and click on that link and enter your Wargaming ID. Mine would be Tankz0rz-X for Xbox or P for PlayStation. And you'll be eligible for all of our giveaways for today.
And may the luck of the Irish be with you.
With all of you.
Okay. So this week we also have the Dream Machines, another fan favorite challenge. This will be going from March 14th through April 10th, and you'll earn points for every multiplayer battle in which you're one of the top 5 XP earners on your team. So a total of 10 players per match can receive points from these battles. You want to collect the points, and then you can spend them in the challenge tab. And you can redeem it for boosters, silver, premium time, or even a new tank. Up for grabs, we have, on the World War II side of things, a few high-tier selections. Starting with a Tier 7, you can claim an American Super Hellcat tank destroyer. If you're more of a heavy tank player, we have a Tier 8 Swedish Emil 1951, or the Tier 9 Soviet Object 752 heavy tank. And of course, we got to consider our Cold War audience. If this is more of your jam, the Era 3 Western Alliance TCM AGS light tank also available. Again, all part of our Dream Machines Challenge op. On top of that, we also have trade-ins this week. We have quite the long list. Full details if you guys want to check out our article, but I'll go ahead and just, I'm not going to go through the full list, but I'll just chime off a few popular names here, including the Astron Rex.
That's a long list here, but Astron Rex,
the Panzer 58 Mutz, the Chimera, Eradicator Carnarvon, the Diamondback Mark I, still one of my personal favorites, the Atomic Centurion, the Nomad Somua SM, the Orochi Oni multi-turret tank, Skoda T-56, the Barracuda Emil 51, the Wojtek, the Ariat Progetto, the Trinity Mark II, the Banana Buster, MBT-70, Object 934, and a T-72 M1, plus many more. Any other standout ones that you want to call out, Tankz0rz?
Yeah, one of my all-time favorite tanks here, the HMH Chrysler K, which is the tank that actually showed me how to play, how to properly side scrape in World of Tanks. So
we all start somewhere.
Has a little soft spot in my heart.
I didn't know that. That's very nice.
Yeah, it's rear mounted turret, so it's an interesting tank.
Okay. And then contracts. We have the Long Bomb. This one is also back in the contracts. In the contracts tab. So this was something of interest to you. Sign up for the Long Bomb contract and work through the challenges, and it can be yours in your own tank reel.
Great stuff. Great stuff. Yeah, I know people were asking, what's the next contract? It's the Long Bomb right now.
It's Long Bomb. All right. Before we move on, that's our quick wrap on content that we covered for this week. Before we move on to the next week, do we have our lucky winner for the Banshee Comet yet?
Ooh, lucky winners. Let's take a look and choose a lucky winner here. Lucky winner. We have our winner.
Got a lucky winner.
And our winner is none other than Gato Fuego. Congratulations, Gato Fuego. Means a fire cat in Spanish here, but they are our lucky winner.
A pirate cat arming the Irish tank.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead and type your name at the chat here. Alrighty. What else do we got going on here, Mr. Bam?
Well, we got some new content coming next week. I think we got something to show off to the players, don't we?
Do we now?
Do we now?
Something nice and animated, I hear, right?
Nice and animated. Quick, one might say.
Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and roll the tapes, everyone.
World premiere.
What you think, Mr. Bam?
There we have it. Going back into the World War II, we got another premium tank. Of course, the KPZ-07RH. a very quick tier 8 German medium tank, as you guys have seen in the trailer itself. A very nice tank to get yourself into position very early on into a match, and it has a very quick fire rate as well with rapid reload.
I saw someone say, they try to say nice tank, but I think they misspelled it and said neck tank.
Neck tank?
Neck tank. Pretty neck tank.
Neck tank.
Awesome, awesome.
Yeah, it's a cross between a light and a medium tank. And if you guys want more details on the tank, as usual, we'll have our article posted after the stream with a breakdown of much more of the statistics on the KPZ-07RH for your viewing pleasure. And there we have it again. On the subject, okay, let's do another giveaway here. How about this time, 2 lucky winners for their chance to get the KPZ-07RH?
Sounds great to me. Let's go ahead and drop that link back in the chat just in case. And again, if you've already entered, you're all set for the day, so you're good.
Alrighty. So, other content coming out next week. We have a new challenge, the Show Me the Money Chain. Available once per day. This challenge is a chained up. Win 1 battle, you get 3 times silver. Win 2 battles, get 4 times silver. And if you get 3 battle wins, get a 5 times silver boost. And the best part, these don't necessarily even have to be consecutive wins. Just play a series of battles, get those wins in, consecutive or not, and you can make those get those silver earnings in. Spring is coming, and I cannot wait for the weather to kind of break here. It's been kind of a roller coaster effect of weather here in the Chicagoland area. It's cooling off this weekend, unfortunately. So happy spring's coming. And so let's talk spring sales in the game as well. You can get 50% off various cosmetics, not including skins at this time, but we will also have XP conversion bonuses. 1 gold will bag you 32 free XP, as well as 25% off equipment purchase costs.
You know, Mr. Bam, we've done so well not talking about the weather on stream as of late.
I just had to bring it up.
I mean, if we're talking about it, you know, it's nice. It's nice out. It's cool 40 degrees, you know.
A cool 40.
Fahrenheit.
Is it 40? It's 30 by me.
Oh,
I
yeah.
had to throw on my sweatshirt before the stream because I was getting chilly.
It's a little warmer here where I'm at. Closer to the sun.
I get now. Okay. Oh, all right. Other spring sales coming up. We got some various bundles. Tankz0rz, let me know if you want to chime in on any of these, because this is where the pronunciation is very fun and easy before we get into the milestone shout-outs for the players. This is before we kind of struggle to pronunciate more properly here. Mm-hmm. But starting off here, we have the Ranged Power Bundle. That includes the Demolisher T28, the Equalizer M53, and the Tankz0rz S1.
Next up, we have the Flexible Offensive with the Aguila Hawk 30, the Infernal Chimera, and the Hydra IS-6.
Wonderful. And then the Charging Powerhouses bundle. This includes the Love and the Kirovets 1.
Next up, we have the Flanking Lessons with the Loza M4A2 Sherman and the A32.
And then the European Flankers, including the General Skoda T27 and the Sturv 81. And take it away from this last one here.
Last but not least, we have the Art of Scouting with the Cromwell B, the Holland Hund, and the Vanguard ELC Even 90.
Very nice. I know the Vanguard is a favorite.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have various tanks that you can purchase for free XP. Quite a bit of a list here. I think we can run through these pretty quickly ourselves. The Minuteman T29, the Citadel Tiger 1, the Sturm VK3601, these M4A2E4 Ripper, the Crafts Panther, British Bulldog, the Cromwell B, the Hidden Stug 3, E25, Sherman Firefly Boiler Maker, the AMX Chaffee, and lastly, the Panzer V4. Again, all those tanks will be available for purchase via free XP. If you're sitting on a nice bank of that and we're wondering where to spend it, we got some tanks for you.
Awesome,
Okay.
awesome.
Okay, we are about ready to go into our battle feats section here. But before we do so, how are we looking on our winners for the KPZ07RH?
We are all ready to announce here. And our winner is none other than Red Dot Cafe. Congratulations.
Red Dot Cafe.
And our second winner here is Sir Simp. That's it. I thought there was more. But Sir Simp, so congratulations.
Sir Simp? Congratulations. You guys have your first hands opportunity to try out the new tank coming this Tuesday. Okay, let's get into our shoutouts category. And this week, in lieu of St. Paddy's Day, we will be giving away lucky key cards to all the winners. I'm sorry, not the winners, the milestone and achievements, amazing battlefield achievements from these players here. Starting off in the TCM AGS, we have Hyper Manatee. First of all, love the gamer tag because I don't think I've ever met a manatee that showed any sort of strong energy, right? Hyper Manatee 296 with max damage in a single battle, 16,363. Maverick Abe, max combined assisted in a single battle, that is 8,521. And then Fox True with max, oh, this is an interesting one, max distance traveled in a single battle, 10,556 kilometers in a single, like they must have been pedal to the metal with that tank. Never stopping to smell the roses, right?
Mm-mm.
Up next, we have in the Super Hellcat, Haiju and Born Naja, both with max kills in a single battle of 9. Lucas K1981, max damage in a single battle, 6,191. Choco Moloko with max combined assisted in a single battle, 6,137. Our CC, the Randy Duck, with max XP in a single battle, 2,833. And actually, I just got a correction because I thought something was very astounding about this. Fox True and the max distance traveled in the TCM AGS, we just had a typo here. It's actually meters, not kilometers. That's why I was like, wow, that's...
Listen, Bam, I had the same info, so
Yeah.
I was like, wow, that's a lot.
And to cover that distance in a single, 15-minute time frame, too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, correction. It's 10,000 meters.
Okay.
All right, Medal Showcase. The Nicholas Medal, awarded to a player for destroying 4 or more enemy tanks with a medium. The destroyed vehicles must be at least 2 tiers higher than the player's tank. And this past week has been rewarded to Bomber 447506 in their Sherman Firefly, and Betsy 666, also in a Sherman, the Firefly Boiler Maker. As well as Devin Sega in the Atomic Centurion, and Summer Caesar 908 in their Cromwell Knight. Incredible. And then lastly, our milestone, always thank you and a massive congratulations to Silent Force 130 and Dom Guy 28. They have crested that 100,000th battle threshold. Amazing guys. And then lastly, we have Misanthrope 57 hitting that 140,000 set of battles. Congratulations.
And as always,
that's a lot of battles.
That's a lot of battles. But also, you know what I want to ask you? When you were talking about that manatee, how many manatees have you met, Mr. Bam? I feel like,
back in my day, I meet a lot of manatees.
Okay.
I have actually kayaked alongside some manatees before, and even swam with one about 20 feet away. It's intimidating because you see a large shadow and you don't know what it is under the water, but if you can get a little bit of a height and look down, you see it. It looks like a slow-moving cow.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Oh, thanks for sharing, Mr. Bam. All right, let's see. Where does that leave us at?
Super test applications. Reminder, we announced this last week. The application process is now closed. We are going through the reviewing process soon. So for those of you, if you did apply to our super test program, keep an eye out on your emails. We hope to get acceptance emails out within the next 2 weeks. And then we like to cover this one on a weekly basis as well, just to kind of cover, we understand it's an online gaming service, and there's a lot of various players out there, some of them not too friendly or sportsmanship-like on the team, and they might try things like pushing you off a cliff or blocking your shots. It can be very infuriating. We get that. And we continue to encourage players. We have an in-game report system that you can certainly leverage. Clan tags along the same spectrum here. Players try to get away with some very offensive and insensitive names on their clans, and we try to catch them all. There's not really an automated process for us to catch this ahead of time, so we do please ask you, the players, help us out, and we will always go through and review any submissions that come in from the game in-game reports, and properly vet these to determine if we got to push any bans or disband a clan all entirely or force a rename, etc. To give you guys a bit of an example, just this past week, we had a total of 8 clans that had their names rechanged, and 5 clans disbanded all entirely. And then up to 29 players that had temporary bans on them, and 2 permanent bans from the game.
Yep. I know we recently started announcing this stuff, and we brought it to light. But ever since we did, I have been receiving my fair share of people reporting either abuse or clan name. So
you've also been volunteering and taking up personal things that players are sending to you, and you help kind of facilitate that along. Okay.
I slide it over. I'm like, here you go, Mr. Customer Support. I believe this is for you. And they're like, oh, thank you.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. All right. That leaves us with our favorite question, Q&A time.
Q&As.
Before we get into Q&A, why don't we give away some more tanks here, Mr. Bam?
What's been hot on players' minds lately? Okay, so we already announced 2 winners for the new KPZ 04.
Right.
We did the Banshee Comet.
Right.
A lot of players are all talking about, of course, the Wiesel, love saying it that way, the Wiesel 1A1 the ATGM only tank in Era 3 Cold War. I think we give players another chance here. Let's do 2 giveaways, 2 lucky winners for their chance to own this tank themselves.
Sounds great. All right, well, let's go ahead and jump into Q&As here. Our first question, starting us off strong, is from a player by the name of Chewy, and they're asking, can we get an earn/contract for the M4 1D?
Because I know we have certainly opened up the concept of premium tanks and allowing some sort of contract for players to earn premium tanks now. Unfortunately, that one is not on our current schedule or planning in any in the next couple of months. So it might be quite a long way out, but what we should stress, it is available still in our premium tech tree for purchase at this time. So if it is something you're missing out on and are willing, it is something you can purchase right now.
Sounds great. Next question from username JFK asking, will we get a tier 8 premium TD Jagdtiger Proto in the near future?
Unfortunately, near future, no. Something we will likely have to fit into the schedule for maybe closer to next year's planning. So appreciate the suggestion. We'll keep it in mind.
Sounds great. Next question here. A man with 3s.
Man with 3 what?
A man with 3. That's it. Their question is, will things like night vision be implemented into Cold War at any point?
Interesting. And I appreciate the unique question. I'm not sure if we covered this one before. Night vision. So this was, in fact, before we launched the Cold War mode into the game itself, something that we have been discussing about. We never actually did any sort of prototyping of any sort to include, say, like an equipment or a mode of night vision into the game. But we were trying to get ahead of the ball a little bit, knowing this would be something applicable into Cold War at some point that we should certainly consider. So we were starting to think about, maybe as we are doing a lot of these new art revamped revisions of our maps, this is kind of why we made like Prohorovka more of a night dusk setting. Even Sand River, we push for more of a kind of a sunset a little bit, trying to think about kind of future proofing when we do have the like a night vision mechanic in the game, that we do have at least some maps that would be properly supported for it. Fredvang was another example of why we kept that one in a nighttime setting. So, but yeah, as of right now, those kind of discussions are mostly on hold. It is still something that we understand would be a neat new feature to add to Cold War. So something possible in the future, but nothing to really bring to light or discuss at this time.
Next question here from a user by the name of Delicious Tree Bloods asking, can we get, is it like sap, I'm assuming? Maybe some like maple syrup or something?
Maple syrup, okay. I get where this guy's coming from now.
Can the challenges or the challenge text be increased in size when loading into battle? The contract progress info is hard to read.
Oh. So yeah, this is something we constantly have to be kind of careful about. We are a console audience. We cater to a console player base as well. So a lot of our UI elements, we do try to increase in size, so it makes it for better visibility. We have to consider the players that are playing on the couch from a TV that's like could be 5 to 10 feet away, as opposed to say like playing on a PC where text can be very small when the monitor is a foot away. Something we have to be very careful. One is translation in other languages and worrying about truncation. A lot of, like in German and Russian, a lot of our text strings can get very elongated and pushed off the screen, or even overlapping with other HUD UI elements. So there's always challenges when trying to increase scale on things. And we have to consider essentially everything else going on and how does it interact with all the different systems, different locales as well. To make sure everything kind of fits in the space. To that note, the contract info and trying to think about how to, if we could increase the size, something that we can get a ticket and task on our UI team, and we can take a look and see if there is some sort of adjustment to be made there.
Awesome. Let's see. Other questions that we have here.
Other questions.
Smile for Shaheen is asking, can you please give the Cold War Conqueror premium tank spaced armor on the turret, similar to the World War II version?
Interesting. Well, at the start of just the Valiant season, we did buff this vehicle. So it did receive some serious armor and firepower upgrades. So this is going to be another matter, as typically when we make balance adjustments on tanks, or release even new tanks, we got to give it some time to sit in the live ecosystem, evaluate the data, and then revisit whether things warrant some more changes, buffs, nerfs, otherwise. So something we'll keep in mind. Thank you for the suggestion.
Next question from Strider5599. Will 3D commanders get emotes that we can choose from and display when we're on the top 3 winning team?
Oh boy. That is something to consider. That's a whole other element. We don't currently have any plans. We're currently not developing any sort of emote system or new animations to the commanders themselves. I guess I'll ask, if this is something the community would love to see in the future, let us know. I appreciate you bringing that to light. If there's enough interest, we could consider the suggestion for something in the future. One thing we do know that players enjoy about the 3D commanders, now mind you, this doesn't necessarily reflect to all the other players, like when you're on the MVP screen, but unique VO sets for the commanders. I know that is very popular. That is something we still consider and try to push for on 3D commanders first. 3D and 2D commanders, regardless. So emotes, not too sure on this one.
Interesting, nonetheless. Let's see. Next question. Oh, interesting name. Kaiju Blood God. They're asking, when will you add the Chrysler and General Motors XM1 prototypes to the game? They will make great heavies for Era 2.
Interesting. Let's see, the XM1 prototypes. Interesting. I'll just say right now, it's an interesting suggestion. We don't have either of those tanks in our upcoming tank schedule, so it might be something we configure into next year.
Tactical Potato is asking, can we get a 2D version of Hilder added to the Mythology keycards?
She is definitely a very popular 3D commander. We'll pass that along to the events team. in live ops and see if that's something that we'd like to get included into the next set of mythology key cards. So thank you for the suggestion.
Next question from a loaded cycle. They're asking, what is going on with ranked battles? Any chance for them to return here, or any plans?
Ranked battles, yeah, it's been a while, and we know this is, even from the competitive community and clans especially, this is certainly a feature that would cater well to them. We don't plan to bring back ranked battles in the old format that it used to be as a separate kind of game mode that you just kind of queue into. We are working on something else to kind of keep that all in mind, that cater to the competitive and clan community. Not something that we are quite ready to discuss, at least at this time. But trust me, when we are ready, we'll make sure you guys are aware and kind of break it all down on how it will kind of function.
Sounds great.
So stay tuned.
Jessica Cohn is asking, is it possible to earn all of those tanks in the Dream Machines op, correct?
Yes, the only limit is the number of points that you can earn for the amount of prizes you can claim. So do note that if you already own the tank, you will instead get the alternate silver reward in its place.
Excellent. Next question here from Midway Bear Cub. They're asking, can the FE510 Warrior be added to the British Cold War tech tree after the VFM5?
No, but because the VFM5 was in development after the VF510 Warrior, so the Warrior would need to come before the VFM. We have another branch planned outside that does include the Warrior, and we'd love to add all of these tanks, but it just kind of comes down to time. Eventually, but it isn't something that will be coming anytime soon.
Thank you, thank you. Question from Sinister1, I believe I said that one correct here. Does the KPZ-07RH have spaced armor on the turret?
It does not. So because this tank is designed as a mix between a light and a medium, it's mainly about the speed and the gun reload and its quick rate of fire. So it plays more of a sniper support tank role, and the armor wouldn't necessarily be something you want to rely on. So don't put yourself too much forward in the front lines, or try to expect that you can deflect some shells coming at you. Use your speed, be nimble, hide where necessary, retreat where you think support can be handled elsewhere. Be quick.
Use your speed and wits, not your chin. Saying.
That's a good way of putting it, actually. We need a loading screen tip for something like that.
A little loading screen tips. If you need some more, I got some. I got a big list of loading screen tips for you here. Norwegian Guy 1 is asking, 3 consecutive wins for Show Me the Money?
So you get a bonus on the first win. If you win a second time, the silver bonus increases. And win a third time, it increases even more. It's similar to the string theory event, but with a silver multiplier bonus instead.
Same, but different.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hearing. Akita is asking, will skins be going on sale soon?
No upcoming sales at this time. Just goes along the lines of a lot of the other content that, we know that you guys are very curious and want to know when some new things are coming. We will be sure to announce when they are coming back, but nothing to share at this time. So please stay tuned.
Let's see. Question from user Bren, and they're asking, can we get the Centurion Avery in Cold War mode since it was released in 1962?
Would be fitting, wouldn't it? So yes, there was a Cold War version of the tank where they covered it in ERA armor. The issue here is that it's a 165 millimeter gun that only shoots heat and HE rounds. Since there are a lot of vehicles in Era 2 that are covered in ERA and composite armor, it wouldn't be very effective in this mode, at least not currently with the 165 millimeter gun. But this is something, we can play a little bit around, leaning more into fantasy, perhaps. This is something we'd have to work out with the tank designers and kind of play test for balance reasons. Something, again, I'll say thank you for the suggestion. We'll have to kind of pass it along and see for Cold War viability.
Awesome. Let's see. Next up here, Bloody War Llama asking, can you reduce the XP per kill in Cold War or increase the XP for damage?
Can you reduce the XP? Can you reduce the XP per kill or increase for damage? Interesting. So, well, landing the killing blow is worth very little XP compared to the XP you already receive for dealing a lot of damage. Damage, as it always has been, is always much more rewarding. So I'm a little, I guess you're asking to reduce the kills more and increase the damage more? Specific to Cold War? We do have a lot of other conversations in regards to Cold War earnings, whether that be silver and XP. So nothing to really share right now. These are ongoing conversations that we are still trying to nail down a firm direction on. So yeah, more to come on that.
Next question up from Meme Master, and they're asking, do we have any hints to share for the next season? And are we getting another Era 3 tank for level 100 reward?
As these sort of questions come up quite a bit, we don't want to dip too early into any sort of next season unveilings just yet. There's still much to come and unveilings of new content to discuss for this season that we're still even now keeping under wraps a little bit. So apologies, nothing to talk about next season or even the level 100 reward. You'll just have to wait just a little bit longer.
Just around the corner.
Just around the corner.
A little bit longer. Let's see. Next question from Cooler Bigfoot 50. I've stopped playing World War II. Are there any plans to start offering Cold War only focused keycards for purchase?
Interesting. No current plans, but this is something we're actually talking about in regards to keycards. Some sort of shakeup or change that we want to address for the keycard system. So we'll kind of pass that on as we continue to discuss that feature.
Yeah, definitely be interesting, right? To allow players to, purchase for whatever they want to purchase for, either Cold War or World War II here. Next question from Strider 5599. Will the Premium France TD M10 RBFM be available soon anytime?
Well, so this tank is currently set up as a reward vehicle as part of our recruitment program. So if this is a tank you're looking for and you want this tank, you'll have to start recruiting some players and showing them the ropes, and that tank could be yours.
Ooh, seems like an interesting and fun way to get this vehicle.
Yeah. I'm trying to pick out some questions that are going by. Shout out Blind Wild Doug. Happy St. Patty's Day to you too, sir. Plum 37. Can I ask about any Easter eggs in game?
Oh, those are fun ones.
Those are always fun, and I admit a lot of times we make sure we make very informed, data-driven decisions that sometimes it's difficult to squeeze in something that's kind of a fun element when there's a lot of other must-need priority tasks at hand. Not to say we don't throw in Easter eggs from time to time. I think a favorite that players enjoyed finding way back when was on Hellfire Pass. One of our artists, even unbeknownst to myself, added a Sandman, a snowman made of sand hidden in the map itself. And when we discovered that, we threw like a little contest for who can ever find that first gets with a screenshot, gets a prize.
Do you remember where the Sandman was located at?
It was on one of the ridges kind of toward the center south end of the map. The grid unit eludes me right now, but it's kind of overlooking a bit of a ridge. If you recall where that kind of lower end, there's a set of hangars, there's a small kind of town settlement there. It's a ridge to the west of that little town in which the Sandman sits.
I remember long time ago, there used to be a Sandman inside one of those like little outhouses. I don't know if you've ever seen that one before.
Oh yeah, what map was that on though?
I don't remember.
I feel like it was a winter map.
It was a long time ago.
Okay, I feel like I can't avoid this much longer because I am seeing this come up quite a bit. Next maps. I'm seeing that one come up quite a bit. All right. I did say I would start dropping some hints. People are asking, can Berlin come back? Can Live Oaks come back? What are some maps that you guys really want to come back? Like, if I can gauge what the community is picking out of a very popular map they want to have in mind, let me know. What I will say right now, as we slowly kind of make our way to a release of some new map, Oyster Bay.
Oyster Bay.
I don't know if you're familiar with that one, Tankz0rz. That is a brand new PC World of Tanks map. Looks real fantastic. If I was to directly correlate with any map that's closest to what we used to have in our game, Pacific Island. It's kind of a larger version of our Pacific Island, but not at all our version of it. So, no, real quick, before anyone misconstrues what I said there, Oyster Bay, no, that's not the next map we're doing, but it is something we are aware, and I spoke with the level design team to just kind of take a look at that map. Here's what I will tell you. Let's see, a lot of shout outs for Live Oaks. I see a Tundra. Highway's in the game. Redshire 1944 or Ensk, Paris, Liberty Fallen, Icebound. Jeremy Pantera, Icebound. No, not really, please.
I have one. I have a name here to give you. I don't think you're going to be very happy with this name.
Like a player name or a map name?
No, map name. It's a very wide. And it happens to be a park.
There's a very wide park of a map.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here's the hint I'll drop to you guys right now for the next map planned to release. It's a summer-themed camo map. I know that doesn't limit it a lot because there is a lot of summer-themed maps, but that'll be this week's small hint for the next upcoming map.
Is that what we're setting ourselves to do, Mr. Bam? Just every week, be like, and this is the summer map.
I'll leave it to the players. If we go a week and they don't ask what a next map might be, then we got off easy that week.
Okay. I like how you're thinking.
Ooh, Blind Wild Dog, the Mark I map. That funny enough, some history on that one. That is currently Thiepful Ridge. That is now a full map playable in the game. We initially made that with the kind of dugouts and the bunkers as part of our Mark I mode that included the Centennial tank, part of the 100-year anniversary, and flamethrowers involved.
Flamethrowers they're cool. Yeah, and the little the bunkers, the machine gun nests.
So yeah, that map itself, like we're not going to be bringing that map in, but we do have Thiepful Ridge in the game.
All right, let's see. We got some more questions here. You ready for more questions, Mr. Bam?
Sure, I'm still kind of scanning here as well.
Sound Strike 54 is asking, is there any chance that the AMX 30B will have multi-gun support? I'm assuming bifurcated guns.
Well, possibly in the future. It's still a feature that we're debating and figuring out internally, at least at this time.
Okay. Want to be Warrior 94. This may have been asked previously, but are there any plans to revamp crew skills in the near future?
No, because yes, we did a revamp a couple years ago of the crew skills, and we know some players have comments and concerns on it, and would love to know if there's going to be any changes. Right now, nothing to speak of. Yeah, more news if we do come up with something, we'll let you know.
Grouper 65, will the multi-barrel tanks ever be able to show marks of excellence?
This one's interesting because we're talking about a feature of the bifurcated guns, but they're asking about the marks of excellence, but we don't have those tanks in the game just yet. Right. It's interesting because that is a challenge that we have to address in terms of how do we show the marks of excellence on multi-barrel tanks? Does it show on both barrels, on one barrel? Is it in the middle and it's covered up by the other one?
I think they're reading your emails and they're trying to like future proof. You know, they're looking down into the future.
Yeah, right. So I'll just stress it's something that we need to consider. How do we support multi-barrels in the game first? And then that's just another kind of stacked upon challenge that we need to sort out. So nothing I can really answer at this time.
Sounds great. Question here for you, Mr. Bam. Joshua Kane is asking, how is the community map coming along?
Okay. We talked about that one a little bit. We do have major changes coming in by the next time we release the map. You won't see those changes until we move into the next season, so you'll have to wait just a few more weeks longer. But we've taken in a lot of feedback from the players. We even polled you all on a survey, and KB, thank you again, and shout out to you, who got us kind of the results to help kind of pivot us in a direction here. One of the things that was very stressed and foremost on that survey was more drivable space. There's too much water. We know that's been a constant thing, and we've been kind of slowly inching. We created a bit of a beach area that you guys see now playable in the game. By the next iteration, when you see the community map next, that beach is going to be extended much further out. There's going to be a lot less water. There'll still be drowning areas. That will certainly be the case.
That's my only weakness.
Let's see, what else can I talk about? We are removing the port section that currently has a lot of what would be like kind of like a series of freights kind of scattered around. And trying to identify a good gameplay space, it just wasn't working out, and it really created difficulty for, say, the Northeast team to have any sort of quick advantage to get to some good points around the map, because they had to circumvent around all of these blocks in there. And it just wasn't panning out. So what we are instead creating is more elevation changes there, creating more of a natural kind of zone with some hills. There might even be a new tunnel, perhaps. We'll speak more on that point later. What else? But yes, coming along pretty nicely. Like I said, we'll have it, as usual, back in custom games in the next update, and be running more tests on that as well.
Can we add little tank floaties to my tank so I don't drown? Oh, I'm sorry.
I will add it to the list.
Okay. Bottom of the list. Next question here. Alex is asking, can we expect the AMX RC10 to come to Cold War?
So this one falls under the category of wheeled vehicles. This is another large design and technical challenge for us, as we are still developing a tool to better create wheeled vehicle physics and hookups for us to better deliver wheeled vehicles into the Cold War environment. Let me put it in this light. The wheeled vehicles that we got into the World War II ecosystem, those are directly imported from the PC version, and we had to fine tune with our own, both a manual process and through our own tool to make it work to the best that we can muster. Who here recalls that weird bouncing effect that the wheeled vehicles had at launch? Like, that was much more severe before we got it to launch. And thankfully, there was a lot of time trying to iron out some of those things. So there's concerns like that going on when we think about trying to develop the Cold War tanks, because we're not going to be able to import that directly from WoT PC. They don't have a Cold War ecosystem that we are developed on from our spectrum. So we are building these kind of from scratch and need a tool to better tweak a lot of the physics here. And that might be easier said than done, but there are so many systems and mechanics that have to be considered. The full breakdown on how the chassis, the wheels react, and when things are broken on the wheels, these all have to react in terms of how it plays with all the other tanks in the game, along with the terrain and all the resistances. And all of these have to kind of work in unison and in sync for us to deliver this without it being kind of a bug of some sort in the game.
It's definitely interesting, right? How like all these systems like always they coincide with each other, and like if you change one little thing somewhere, you know, next thing you know, maybe all your Cold War tanks are going to start bouncing up and flying around or something. But,
yeah, and especially our Cold War mode does in fact have kind of a different gravity physics setting versus World War II.
Right.
So that's also got to be accounted for in how we adapt wheeled vehicles there.
Okay.
Yeah, so going back to your question, you were not asking about wheeled vehicles. You're asking specifically the AMX RC10. It's a wheeled vehicle. Unfortunately, we have to unblock ourselves on the tools front before we can consider that.
Sounds great. Next question here from Vlados, and they're asking, will there be a BZ-176 in World of Tanks console?
Likely at some point, and we'll leave it at that.
All right. Winter Fox 93, any ETA on Japanese tank destroyers?
Nothing yet. Not currently on our release schedule, so no news to share on that front yet.
Gunny 531, will themed voices be added to new commanders?
Well, we were talking about this a little bit. We are trying to add custom VO for some of our commanders. As we know, players like this, but it wouldn't be something we can do for every new commander. It comes down to bandwidth, casting as well. Sometimes our own audio engineer, he'll set up some placeholder VO sometimes. And honestly, I think in some cases it works out and we say, hey, ship it. Other times we get hired actors to do the VOs for us.
Right, and I think it's definitely always on our minds, at least. So. And
yes, we do know about the Jolly Roger Commander. We know that one comes up. Players have been asking, can we get some pirate VO for the Jolly Roger? So I am personally asking for that myself too.
Specifically voiced by Bam, I hear. That's what I hear.
Oh, we have a volunteer here, Sinister One. We have his permission to use his voice. Sinister, what commander would you like your voice applied to?
Jolly Roger, Jolly Roger.
Jolly Roger.
Or the little cats. Can you imagine you just come in and start meowing?
I am an expert cat VO actor.
There you go.
All of them. Tankz0rz, we gotta get you into the VO. You got. What would be your go-to 3D commander you think you'd apply your voice to? Any in mind? Sparky Nelson?
Sparky Nelson with the socks?
No, that's
oh
the,
wait, yeah, that's Sandman.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. Maybe
I think
TBD will
Frankenstein.
The Frankenstein, where I just come in and be like, or something.
Exactly.
APCR, AG rounds. I like it. We do have a couple more questions here before we announce our winners.
That's right. So pending winner.
JJ Death here is asking, can we get some more unique gun sounds for tanks and with different calibers?
Well, we are limited to a certain number of audio cues, but we do support the full range of calibers, both range from the low tiers all the way up to the high tiers. This audio was already recorded from real-life vehicles and guns where it is possible, and the rest kind of recreated using explosives. So it's not just folly that we kind of create in-game in our own internal studio, but actually going out and getting
field recordings.
Yeah. That's it. Thank you. Field recordings.
Let me tell you, I've watched, I believe we have like some footage on our YouTube channel of the field recordings going on, but I've watched several hours worth of like field recordings, and it's just like setting up the mics, putting mics in like different spots on the tanks. I think it's interesting. I've always thought Foley art was really interesting. So let's see. Next question here from Ukrainian Beast. They're asking, can the garage be updated, like people in the back working on tanks, or maybe some billboards that show you know what's coming up next? Some in-game ads.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. Yeah, some sort of banner. What if we had a way? We need like a skylight, and you have like a plane go by, and it's got one of those ad banners going by. Check out the Wiesel 1A1 in store. It's a really good suggestion. I think stuff like that kind of brings more life and realism, of course, to have more activity going on in the background. Stuff like that.
Definitely more life, right?
For sure.
The first thing I thought of when you said the little banner on the plane going overhead, people will ask us, like, hey, Bam, what's the next map coming in? And we'll be like, next week, check the plane.
Watch for the plane going by.
Yeah, looking in the garage, like, what does that say?
What if that? I love the concept of like maybe we drop a hint in a map itself and see who discovers it.
Yeah.
Like, why is there a plane way up there? It's got something on a. It's carrying a banner of some sort. What does it say?
I feel like all our players are going to start watching the planes here shortly.
Yeah,
there's nothing
to
in
be
there.
clear, I'm not dropping any
Yeah,
hints.
there's no hints. Don't look for the planes.
I saw a comment here. I had to bring it up. The Crusader MK5, Tankz0rz, do a voice for Hilder.
Oh, there you go.
The Valkyrie Hilder.
I like that one. A couple more questions here. Let's see. Dabeen saying, what is the OBJ 780s? Or wait, sorry. Seeing that we got the OBJ 780 shortly after PC, can we expect the same for the Tier 10 Lion?
No, unfortunately, we already had the 780 planned, while the Lion isn't just something we have currently on our schedule.
Cool. And last question here, Bam1500. Hello. Can we get True Vision in World War II mode? A different mode from World War II.
So, okay, this one's interesting. The quick answer is no. There won't be a World War II True Vision mode. This is something that we tested in the past, and that was to help gauge whether this is something we move forward with in Cold War, with some consideration of how it might fit into the ecosystem for World War II. Your suggestion of having a World War II with True Vision as a separate matchmaker, it's an interesting idea, because that means there is still a player base that can say, well, okay, I don't need to check that out. I can still play World War II in the way that I like. The complication there is splitting up the population even further, because we do have World War II and Cold War mode, and then we have the multiplayer and co-op, and the various tier ranges all within it. And now we're talking about a brand new matchmaker subset as well, that is all of the tiers in World War II, if that's what we deem, and asking the players to further divide for those that want to try out the True Vision versus non-True Vision. So simple answer to that is no, won't be happening.
All right. Let's see, Mr. Bam. We have our winners to announce. Are you ready?
I am ready. Yes, let's hear it.
Alrighty. So our winners for our Wiesel 1A1 tow tanker, not one, but two winners are, oh, I had it ready and I just lost it.
We lost our winners.
I lost my winners. Hold up. We have Superguard 83. Congratulations, Superguard. And Gunny 531. So I will go ahead and enter your names into chat, but congratulations to both of you. You'll be getting a Wiesel. And that about wraps it up for me on this side, Mr. Bam. What about yourself?
Yeah, we're looking good. We covered a lot of questions today, and I really appreciate everyone sticking around. And sorry if we didn't get around to your question this week. The live ops team and the content community team, they're usually on top of it. And if we missed it, they'll add it to the docket for next week, and we'll try to cover it then.
Yeah, definitely. Big shout outs to our support team and behind the scenes too for all of their support today. Lots of love. Thank you very much. And for those that are watching on Twitch, stick around. We'll go raid one of our community contributors. For everyone else, have a fantastic weekend and happy St. Paddy's Day.
Happy St. Paddy's Day.
All right, take care, everyone. Bye-bye.